So for that guy, the last in the part one I will play. My advice to him is that just withdraw the 100k and really find one restaurant, go chop. Go chop. I mean,
actually, now person will chop. It's zero. If you decide with him, you want to do again in life. Because bro, $1,000 to 100k to $100. That's not a small thing.
Go far.
That's not a small thing.
Go out.
Oh God.
From that last episode, somebody commented that how long have you been trading? How long have you been trading? How long have you tested your trading strategy? What was the lot size that you used? Because trading is not gambling.
For some people, okay, let me say the general opinion. Some people support the fact that trading is gambling, while some people say trading is not gambling. For me, I will be telling you right now that trading is gambling. There is really no difference between when you are trading and when you are playing sporting bets, because both are predictions. You are predicting a future outcome on this side, which is trading. You're also predicting a future outcome on sporting bets. So how are they different?
They are very different. First of all, there's a comment that I read. Let me just read it again. You don't want pay to learn. It's either you learn from somebody's mistake or you learn the hard way from your own mistake. And that's the problem that most people have. Like, first of all, you don't even know the basics of how to read charts. You don't know the basics of how to analyze. You don't know when the market has a high resistance. You don't know when when the market is volatile. So you just pick any trade, enter at any time, or possibly you are following signals. And like they call a signal for you. Maybe you're even paying for the signal. They call a signal for you. And you have a small balance, you have a small capital, and you just enter direct. You didn't check analysis, you don't, okay, this morning GBP was selling like mad. GBP versus UAD was selling. GBP versus JPY was selling. Like GBP was hot this morning. We won 4 trades back to back. The fifth signal that we received, I told people in the group that this signal, people should be careful with it because that's high resistance. The difference between a trader and a gambler will now come in that place, because a trader has seen high resistance. Okay, there can be resistance. There are 2 things that you can do. So either you trade with the smallest possible capital, because of the resistance that you have seen. In sporting bet, is there anything like resistance? That's one. Okay, it's either you trade with the smallest or you just ignore the trade. For me, I will ignore the trade. That's why I have my own strategy. In trading, you use the knowledge of all those things that you have learned, how to analyze trade, use of indicators, knowing when there is resistance, knowing when the market is on the sell trend, knowing when the market is on the downward trend, that's on a sell trend. Or when the market is buying, when the market is on the uptrend. And there are some times that the market is just volatile, the market is just fluctuating, the market is just unstable. Sense will teach you that you should not enter, except you have not learned the hard way. So in those kind of scenarios now, a gambler will still enter, because you are just hoping, optimistic that the market will follow your prediction. Market will not follow anybody's daddy's prediction, because the market will do whatever it will do. Millions of people are trading that same market. Millions of people are seeing that same prediction that you are seeing. So now the market is, you are saying that the market is highly unstable. Now gambling is you putting your capital on a market that you are seeing that is unstable, but you are hoping, you are optimistic that the market will follow your own prediction. Doesn't work that way.
Well, in a way, gambling is not just being optimistic. There are also strategies in gambling. What if I tell you there are also strategies in gambling?
Tell us,
For example,
in sporty bet.
Sporty bet, some people use Bet Niger, some people use different kind of.
Those people that used to sell sure odds, where they used to get their sure odds?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to explain now. There are some things that when they see, though there are times I think they use fixed matches. There are some matches they call fixed matches. That is, let's say Chelsea and Man U is playing, and there is something they want to achieve. Chelsea can allow Man U win if probably the management of Chelsea or something like that has something with the management of Man U, and there's something they want to achieve with that.
So they will allow those people win.
Yes, they will intentionally allow those people win, and that those kind of matches are called fixed matches. So if anybody who is probably privileged to have the information from either the management get something like that, the person can now decide to start selling a fixed match and use it as a prediction, and other people start paying for it and buying it. That's if it's true though. So, like I was saying, it's possible, let's say, there are times in a season, Chelsea wins back to back. You notice people are in form at that particular time. So, if Chelsea is playing any other thing, people tend to put more hope on Chelsea. Yeah, definitely. Chelsea is in form right now, so Chelsea will definitely win this match.
That's gambling, huh?
But if let's say Chelsea Man U is playing and they are both in form, that's when we can say, okay, Chelsea is in form. We now start analyzing. They used to have their lineups for the game. Once you see their lineup, you know people are playing different positions, so you can now predict from there. Since this person is playing this area and this person is in form, this, that. So in that way, or in that scope, we can say betting also has a strategy.
This life, like I've said before, is a gamble. So, sporty bet was me. I don't really know much about sporty bets, but Forex is not gamble. Can be gamble for some people. It can be gamble at certain points. Forex can become a gamble at certain points. There are certain points that you just enter the market because you are just looking for an opportunity in every trade. You open GBP USD, you open GBP, you just open all those things, and you are just looking for a point of entry. Relax. If you enter at any point that you are not sure, then it has become a gamble. Then you will now be left at the mercy of fate. It will now become a direct gamble, because by the time you enter, you will now be open and optimistic and pray that the market should follow you. Maybe you bought, you now be optimistic and be praying that the market should buy too. You almost be using your hand to draw that, oh God, forget. You're gambling. You are gambling. So that's why trading and gambling, they are not, I feel they are alike, because see, if you don't have knowledge about Forex, don't leave Forex or go for knowledge. I've seen so many people, even my close friends, pay and learn. No, not pay and learn. Maybe jump inside the market. And the market will push them out too. Because there's one thing that this guy used to follow in America. Used to say, the market takes from the impatient and gives to the patient. If you don't see a clear entry, don't enter. If you don't see a clear entry point, don't enter. If you enter and there is no clear entry point, then it has become a gamble, because now all the market forces may be against you. Then the market might decide to change. You didn't see any strong indication that you enter, but you just enter because you just felt like trading, or because you were struggling to meet a need. You are struggling to raise certain money. You want to reach certain amount. Maybe you have even grown your account from like $100 to like $150. You are just targeting, you want to get to $200, and there is no clear opportunity, but you just feel this thing has sold for like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Let me enter. You did not check for 5 minutes, you did not check for 15 minutes, you did not check for 30 minutes, you did not check for 1 hour, you didn't check for 4 hours, you didn't check for 1 day. You don't even know if it's on a uptrend, if it's on a buy trend, or if it's on a downtrend, or if it's on a selling trend. You just check that, and you just enter. As soon as you enter, you see your BP. You sometimes you're not even going to look at the charts, depending on how much you are using to trade. That it has become a gamble at that point. Like this morning, GBP was selling. Like GBP against AUD selling, GBP against JPY selling, GBP against GBP was selling. We called 4 different signals this morning, one back to back, one holding. And the 5th one, Marvelous now saw the resistance on it, and because I didn't open my chart. I was doing another thing. You now saw a resistance. I now posted on the group that there is going to be a resistance, so be careful with the amount you're going to trade. Now, as an experienced trader or somebody that's you are using the knowledge you have gotten, what you do is, 1, you use the smallest possible risk. For example, you have been trading with $10, $50, $100. You trade with $1 or $2, so that even if loss happen, you are not affected that much. But on the second option is don't even trade at all. More entries will still come. Entries are endless. It might not come in the morning section, it might come in the afternoon section, it might come in the night section, it might come in the overnight section, but entries will still come. But if you enter that trade that I've already told you that is uncertain, now it's clear that you are leaving yourself to fate. You are leaving yourself, you want to fight with market forces, and it's not your dad that is controlling the market. Nobody is controlling the market. The same way you saw an opportunity, is the same way millions of other traders saw that opportunity. Exactly. And trade, Forex follows the law of demand and supply. The more the demand, the more the price. The more the prices go up. The more the price go up, the lesser people demand for that product. So it's the same thing in Forex too. So the same way millions of people saw that opportunity and dive into it can upscale, it can make the market imbalance, can make the market to fluctuate. And that way, anything can happen to the capital. So when you see those kind of resistance and those kind of indications, just stop. At that point, you are not gambling. Well, of course, losses are inevitable. But what makes you a profitable trader is when the number of your wins outweigh number of your losses. And your losses too, they are stupid losses. There are some losses that are just stupid, and there are losses that are mistakes. For example, that $400 that I used that day. In my mind, I've read the trade. I've read for 5 minutes. I've read for 15 minutes. I think I read for 30 minutes. I've seen that, okay, this thing is on a selling trend. And if I sell in the next, because I was doing scalping that day, I was like, if I sell in the next 2 minutes, I will get my money and get out of the market. In my mind, I pressed sell. And I was looking at the trade. I was happy because the trade was selling in my direction. Not until you came to look at the trade and you saw that.
And actually, it was buy.
It's buy that I pressed. After and the market has already gone far. I was happy. It's very now pointed, I just saw it. Meanwhile, I was trading with $400. Short time trading, pocket option. That's how my money went that day. So that type now, that's not a stupid loss, but it's a mistake. A mistake happens. Because if I look at the chart again, or look at my setup again before I might have noticed that, okay, my hand was on buy and not on sell. Yes. I will have just quickly cancelled the trade or just paused if the entry has passed. So if those criteria are in place, Forex is not gambling. But when it becomes gambling is when you don't have sufficient knowledge, you don't have a trading strategy, you have not tested your trading strategy on you have not tested it on a number of duration, you have not tested it and it's worked. Then when you are not using risk management, you are just trading with open stop loss. You don't know what is stop loss, you don't know what is take profits, but you are trading. Or you are trading to raise money. That can be very big trouble because you gamble. Then there's another emotion that comes with trading too. If you take a loss, the most advisable thing for you to do is relax. Just relax first. For me, if I take a loss, I don't trade again that day, I'll just relax. I can continue as early as 5 a.m. the next day and I will surely make a comeback. But if you trade and it ends in loss and you want to revenge trade, you cry.
Okay, so now in conclusion, trading Forex is not a gamble. Or it can be gamble when you are either you're without knowledge, you're doing without knowledge, or there is an amount of greed in you and it's manifesting in. And of course, greed can manifest in anything you do. Either you are trading, either you are doing anything, all sorts of things. Greed can manifest. So, in conclusion, Forex is not a gamble.
You were saying something about when someone is gambling before goes into Forex.
Yeah, if you were, let's say you gamble a lot before, then you now decide to venture into Forex trading. That same spirit that was in you when you were a gambler can also manifest, because they also deal with figures, and when you are seeing all those figures, you are trying to multiply them. The same way you are doing, let's say someone who plays Bet Naija Sporty Bet, you take 2 sure odd, you want to multiply it, or you want to double or triple at times, triple the amount you used to play. When you start trading Forex, in the same way, when you see you are making little wins, and I think at times it's little win that add up to the big win at the end of the day.
Yes.
But when you are you are someone like that, when you are seeing little win, that greed in you will be like, no, this thing is small, I can make it bigger, I can make it explosive.
You want to buy Benz?
You want to buy Benz in the next 2 weeks
from $100 capital.
And your initial deposit is just $100
or $30.
$30 maybe. And you want to buy Benz in the next 2 weeks. How now? How?
Relax.
That is.
But believe in yourself. You can achieve anything in this life.
There are some motivational speakers until they catch one and beat the hell out of them.
Until they kill one of those people. The rest will not learn.
So in that case, when you are greedy, it will definitely show in whatever you are doing. You can want to take a little capital, want to upscale it to something impossible. But no, it doesn't work like that. It is step by step. So Forex is not a gamble.